Hey everyone, and welcome to Talk Lofty to Me. My name's Ernest Riquez, your host, and today we have a special guest. Today we're sitting down with Katie Van Nes, an innovative real estate coach and productivity mentor who's making waves not only across British Columbia, but also here in the US. Katie's going to share her proven strategies for converting seller leads using Lofty and how she's helping agents go from learning curve to listing success. So, whether you're a new realtor in BC or an agent trying to sharpen your market presence, Katie's insights into geographic farming, niche marketing, and CRM mastery will give you actionable takeaways from today's episode. So, from her 12-week boot camp to her expertise with Lofty, Trello, mind maps, and even Slack, Katie's approach is modern, strategic, and built for results. So, without further ado, I per I announce to you Miss Katie Van Nes. How's it going?
It's going really well, Ernest. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
How are
thanks
you?
for coming on. I am doing excellent. I'm super excited for today's episode. I know we've talked, you and I, a little bit back and forth in just previous chats, and I'm super excited to really kind of learn more about how you're dominating your market with your geographic farming and your niche marketing strategies that you're doing, and how you're leveraging Lofty to really kind of create that all-in-one solution. But also, I'm super excited to share with everybody who's listening and watching today how you're also helping agents with these same strategies through that mentorship and helping them build successful, actionable systems with Lofty.
Yes. I love it. And I love the community that we've built, including the Facebook success group with Lofty. It's very, um, you know, just a privilege to be part of that and to be growing with everyone. When the teacher or the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I feel like when I show up as an educator in that way, I'm actually the one learning and getting the takeaways even more so than I think the people joining the class. It's a really a beautiful thing. Thank you, Ernest, for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah, no worries. So I guess let's start at ground zero. How long have you been in real estate? What's really kind of encouraged you to get in real estate? And what was that aha moment that you had that really kind of made you go from not just being successful, but to being ultra successful and really honing in on what you were doing best?
I think it's the attention to detail. And to be honest with you, I've been in the business since I got licensed at the end of 2007. I was the rookie of the year in the Vancouver Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, with 73 transactions in 2008. And it was a lot of online lead generation. And we were in a different ecosystem then. We could hyperlink out on Craigslist. We could do a lot of different things to drive traffic to our websites that maybe we can't do now, but we can do other things now that we couldn't do then. And so for me, it was just coming from a family of real estate, and my father passing away the year before I got my license. It was really like I wanted to do it my way, maybe a different way, and with technology. So I'm of the age where I've had technology in my life and life without technology, and so you kind of want to just see a mixture of that old school and new school methodology around building our businesses, especially through these shifts. And so, Lofty specifically helps me with our listing conversion, through from the very start, with the welcome emails, with the auto property alerts, with the market snapshots, and the market reports. For me, Lofty was the winner, I believe, in 2019, and I thought, I don't know if I could go to another CRM from here, just in how beautiful the communication looks when it goes out to my listing leads and my buyer leads. So just right from the beginning, it's leveling up my communication. Um, and when we get into the active listing, everything from building the promotion pages really does impress my sellers. Not a lot of
Mhm.
CRMs out there have IDX websites with as beautiful single property promotion pages. And it's like a deal breaker. I absolutely cannot consider anything else to promote my listings on besides these single property promotion pages. I pull the virtual tour, our drone footage, in a video block below the big chunky header. And we upload our high resolution images to that header, external usually only, and then gorgeous galleries down below, even including our listing brochures with the HTML block, using a flip book, and pulling in that floor plan as well, using that single property promotion page as my virtual tour link on MLS is what drives a good amount of our listing traffic to my website from things like realtor, .ca for me or .com for yourselves, or anywhere your listing is shown through reciprocity. And so
Wow.
displaying the properties in a way that, like, my sellers think, "We know you're gonna market our listing well."
Yeah, and I
And
think that's something that a lot of, technologies miss is, depending on the type of agent, right? Because there's different types of agents. Right? You have your buyer's agents, your seller's agents, your foreclosure, your short sale. Like everybody has such a specific niche that they deal with. I think it's important that your technology gives you the ability to adapt and create that kind of niche marketing strategy that you're looking to do that fits your business model. So I want to back up a little bit and just ask you a question.
yeah.
How did you get your first listing? Right. Like I know we probably have new agents listening, maybe some seasoned agents who right now with how the market's shifting on a daily basis, it's a really a roller coaster ride. But how did you get your first listing and how are you continuing to grow those listings in today's market?
It's almost a completely different business model between now and when I first started. That's such a beautiful thing because when you said the word niche, I thought the niche is like where you start, and sometimes you don't have any control over where you start, and then you just niche down on what you end up having experience in and the communities you end up working in. My first listing came from my best friend at the time. She owned a condo and she listed it with me. The condo, I did an open house. I met 3 buyers. One buyer wanted to buy that condo. We'd already had an accepted offer. And so I just had to wade the waters of showing them other things, and I found them something. So my second transaction was a buyer from that listing.
Oh, wow.
So super
That
simple.
that's awesome, and I always encourage new agents too, right? We always hear the new agents that are getting into the business, "Well, I don't have any leads," and I always like to challenge those agents and be like, "Well, you do, you just gotta really kinda dig deep and find them," right? Like,
Yeah.
think about your ex-colleagues, like people you've worked with, your acquaintances, people you went to high school with, maybe even college with. These
Oh,
are all kind of prime opportunities for you to have those conversations with and ask them, "Hey, are you considering buying or selling any real estate this year? And if so, let me help keep you informed about what's going on." I know Lofty has so many cool tools from market reports to home reports to property alerts that you can get them set up on. And in fact, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but those are kind of the number one converting tools that you have at your disposal with Lofty.
with Lofty and in combination with the digital marketing. And maybe before we move off the niche topic, I'll share that part of my big success in that first year in real estate was um, going for new construction and niching down. And so my lead generation for that was calling builder signs. And my intro was, I liked your sign. I really liked it. It was like rustic, it had wood. It reminded me of a builder I had worked with when I was just pregnant with my second son and getting paid by the hour. A new
Yeah.
construction street of like 13 homes, I believe I sold prior to getting licensed. So I told them that. And she said, "Oh, you're Schmidt Constructions, Katie. We go to church with them. Let's meet." And that brought me to
Right.
a 19 home Bearland strata that I sold over the course of 3 years. It was a slow market, 2008 to 2010.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
huge, huge win though. So what are
Yeah.
you doing nowadays for marketing? I know we've talked a little bit offline here for listeners listening in today. You shared something with me that really caught my attention, which was your geographical farming that you're
Oh,
doing to win listings. And I know we can't show it on here right now, but kind of explain what you're doing there with geographical farming and how you're actually leveraging Lofty to convert that farming strategy into actually transactions and listings.
well, yeah, and it even starts with that landing page conversation, but, and maybe adding a bit of creativity to it. One of my niches that's a great example because it's super micro. It's a 220 home, gated community that has 2, at the time, new construction subdivisions next door. So maybe altogether less than 1,000 homes right next to a golf course, 5 minutes from a ski mountain, right on the river. And so just beautiful recreation, exactly what British Columbia is known for, beautiful British Columbia. So I
Right.
love being out there. That's a great day when you're out there showing properties and what I've done is taken the Lofty landing pages and built a multi-property landing page just for that community, and then gone into the Lofty listing blasts and blasted for one of my listings, but included all of the listings that are in that community. And so kind of making it more like a carousel ad that has photos of each listing that's available. And then instead of pointing it back to the single property landing page that I have for my listing, pointing it to the community and lead capturing based on those 6 because it's just a great price differential from about 300,000 or maybe even a little less to about mid 700,000. It's lots of things for people to choose from. And then of course, what a great attractor because of the location. And that brought me, a lead that was chatted up from the AI assistant that ended up knowing my father in the past and doing business with him. It brought me a for sale by owner call that wanted to know what I charged to list. 2 buyer leads that right now are getting pre-approved. So I think it was 30 leads altogether, um, and it was $4.80 a lead. And I
Oh,
I
wow.
thought that was super creative, and I love that
Yeah.
because it's such a fun place to work, but, smaller dollar amounts, so you wanna make sure you're getting your bang for the buck every time you go out somewhere like that. It's about a 40-minute drive, 30 minutes on the motorcycle.
Yeah. I think that's fantastic. And, a lot of agents don't leverage their current listings to win more listings, like when in fact you should be, right?
I agree, 100%. And I think one of the things with promoting a community or an area is also
Or
tying it into Oh, go ahead, you
yeah.
cut out
No,
for a
I was gonna
moment.
say, or, having the ability to send postcards and doing print farming and digital retargeting towards that same community, neighboring that new listing that you have.
I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah. That's a tool within Lofty that I haven't had a lot of experience with being in Canada, but some of the agents in our network that are in the US have used it, as well as your Lofty Bloom and your zip code. I don't
Mhm.
know as much about those,
Yeah.
but I'm a little envious, to be honest with you. I kinda wish that
Well, hopefully they'll launch in British Columbia here soon. I know there are discussions around getting some things rolling up there for you all. But I want to kind of shift now. We've talked a lot about your real estate successes, and through those real estate successes, you've probably been getting bombarded with agents going, "How in the heck are you doing this stuff?" Right? Like, how do you manage a real estate business? How do you, help agents? But also, more importantly, like, can you help me? Right? Like, I need your help. So I know you created what is called the most referred expert community, which is something that you're doing to help agents get through that learning curve to listing success. So let's talk a little bit about that because I know you've grown it over 1,500 members now, which is
1,500
fantastic.
members. I started in 2019 when I had, for the previous 3 years, been working for a tech startup locally in British Columbia called Predicted Property. It was later sold to a Texas company called Phone Animal, and what a huge experience helping agents build their databases and manage their databases, and then just referring out all my business from my previous CRM and, my own real estate database. It was in 2019 that I thought, "I need to do this from a brokerage agent level and also be taking the listings and the buyers versus referring those deals out." So it just became part of the business model to put my name on the sign again, which is something I thought I'd maybe never do, but I was on a motorcycle ride down to Cabo, and I just had this, you have a lot of time in the helmet, you have a lot of time to think, "What's the next step gonna be?" I know they're gonna go for a sale.
Right.
I'm gonna get that license fully activated, and I thought one thing I wish I had done was created a community right from the beginning where I could stay connected with every agent I've ever done a deal with, or ever talked to, or ever helped with, whether they're, just from anything to do with technology. I'm usually the one that people would reach out and ask for help with. And so that's what I did in 2019. I created the most referred expert community across borders, really, across brokerages. It's really more of like a like-minded alignment that would make us be a connection. And one of the biggest classes in that community is the Lofty Masterclass. And I just have such a pleasure sharing the secrets and the ins and outs of Lofty because it's not always about how the technology works. It's more about how the technology works in your business to suit your style of real estate business, and everyone's business is different. What works for you might not work for somebody else, but the tips and tricks within Lofty, and how it applies to our everyday real estate business is I think actually where some of the real gems are at. So my goal is to just create a community, offer as much education as I can for as little cost as possible. So it's all free to join live, and we are live Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of live
Mhm.
classes. I know I hear it quite frequently. Is like, it's kind of like buying a new car, right? When you buy a new car, you then have to get it dialed in. You got to go connect your Bluetooth. You got to go do all this. And I hear it so frequently from agents that, like, one of the main reasons why they don't adopt a new technology is because of that setup, right? Having to go in and make it yours and kind of like customize it to you, which is the great thing about Lofty because it's literally driven by AI. So you don't have to go in there and, worry about creating 30 smart plans. You can, but you don't have to. You can literally start feeding it leads from day one if you
Mhm.
have the AI sales assistant, right? Or the AI sales essentials to really start helping you convert those leads. And I think you have a little familiarity with the Lofty AI assistant as well, correct?
I love it, absolutely, and I think the order in which they do their setup and their build out is really important. To have your website where you want it, my team does help with website builds as well. We do the whole framework from the buy and sell folders to your About You tabs and, all of the setup in between, the SEO, absolutely everything. The agents need to, at least in them for themselves, feel comfortable that where they're gonna be inviting their leads in, they maybe wanna customize that welcome email or send out an email saying, "Hey, we've set up a new property search portal. Come check it out. I'd love your feedback," for that moment when they import their leads, and that goes as well to whether you're gonna assign a smart plan, and then that, feeds into that sales assistant. So, the sales assistant is really gonna match your leads energy, and I've just been blown away by it lately. I know you've made some changes. 2 years ago or so, I thought it was just, like the rest, but now I'm thinking it's definitely different. I don't know what you guys have really done on the back end, but it's like matching the leads energy. It literally said to the one lead from that listing blast we spoke about, "Hey, Dennis, let's go big and then go bigger. Katie's gonna get back
Yeah.
to you." And it was like, it was just super, I don't know, just it was good. I liked it.
Well, it's nice because if it's able to match like your personality and how you talk to your client base, like that's an even bigger win because when you make that first contact or that AI sales
Mhm.
assistant's like, "Hey, Katie, reach out to Dennis because he's looking for XYZ." The energy is still there, right? And it makes that experience for that client just feel so much more welcoming, being that they literally just got told, "Let's go bigger," from your AI sales assistant. Now Katie's calling going, "Hey, Dennis, let's go big, right? Let's find you your next big property." And it just makes them feel more welcomed. It makes them feel like you're actually paying attention and it's not just an AI robotic kind of automation that's like, "Are you looking to buy a home?"
And think about it from, like, the setup standpoint of uploading their leads and having AI assistant go through just their entire database that they're bringing into Lofty and start, like, just go for that biggest package, I think, in the beginning and have it help you identify who from your old cold, you know, CSV file is actually gonna
Yeah.
raise their hand. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, and that's all something that again you help with in your most preferred or most referred, sorry, most referred expert community. I say preferred, most referred expert community group. I know you're doing a lot of mentorship in there, a lot of coaching, but you also have like the setup and the CRM mastery that you do for them, like you were just mentioning. Hey, we can get your website fine tuned, looking
Mhm.
to match your brand presence that you're looking to set. But you also help with smart plans and things like that, and you do a lot of mentorship and coaching on the Lofty CRM.
Yeah, happy to give those smart plans away. We have step 1 and step 2 for new leads and cold nurture leads ready to go to share with you. The Lofty support group will have it uploaded into their systems like within 24, 48 hours. They're very fast. It's a beautiful thing to be able to share those smart plans, and I just like to see what the feedback is, you know, but even just being mindful, you have your personal digital number, you have a smart plan, which will have a text message in it, so you wouldn't mass apply it to 2,000 new leads in one day,
Right.
because then in 5 days when the text message goes out or whenever, you might get overage charges. So you just wanna be smart about how you roll it out and really use the system, use the software to your best advantage. Um, and so, yeah, like, to your point, those smart plans that come built in, I'd like to see every agent set up the AI automated ones and the website behavior-based smart plans. They are really beautiful, jumping off points to then go and customize for yourself. And even some
Right.
of the variables that Lofty's added, time of day, good afternoon, day of the week, hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday, Thursday, um, even the season, spring, fall, you can reference those in these smart plans so that they just sound a little bit more organic and natural.
Yeah, it doesn't sound so robotic, right?
Yeah,
Which is nice because we're getting ahead of the curve. We're helping agents create that personalized touch. I don't like the word customized too much because customization to me means I got to do a lot of work, right? So,
okay.
um, I like to use personalized a little bit more when it comes to like talking about smart plans, like you're mentioning the behavior based. It's all really built into the system for you already. All you have to do is personalize it if you want to. You don't have to. It's there. It's ready to roll out of the box.
Out of the
But that's something that you help agents with, kind of getting over that adoption hurdle of, oh my God, there's so much I have to do, because you have a done for you solution that you help agents really kind of get it dialed and fine tuned out of that box for them.
Absolutely. The biggest feedback loop is seeing an agent dial in the automations and know that the communication is gonna go out in their database whether they are on the beach or not. And, they can trust that those, touch points are gonna go out whether, they're really hovering over that lead or not. And that's important to me because once you start turning on your lead gen funnels, you quite quickly can get overwhelmed by the amount of people that end up in your pipeline. Having that daily practice, that's one thing that hasn't changed in my business. The market might have changed. I may do more referrals now, like 10 times more, and which is a beautiful thing. That's where we all want to be. But one thing that hasn't changed is the daily going in and having my CRM as one of my saved tabs on my browser that's going to open up as soon as I open up my browser window, the CRM is right there. We're logging our calls and texts and just having a daily and weekly best practices, like thinking about your kind of productivity um, best practices. You maybe on Wednesday or Mondays you go through and see who recently registered. Change your toggle of your columns in your people tab to show the most recently registered. Maybe on another day it's who most recently visited. Maybe you're going to sort by lead score and just continue to go through and cultivate those leads and move people through the pipelines. I see a lot of agents with thousands of leads, and they're all in the new leads pipeline. And that's
Yeah.
very common. Use those pipelines and segments because that's gonna filter into how you use the smart plans because you're gonna have just a better or different understanding of your database. And don't be afraid to even go and build a mind map. Map it out, your different segments and groups of the people that you use, whether it's your softball team or people from church or your past clients or people that you'll invite to your client appreciation event. You can segment a lot of these things and then map it out so that maybe you don't forget or you can go back and have a look. You might get busy, do a few deals, and want to come back and look at it visually, see where you left off.
Yeah. That's all solid information. And I love hearing it from somebody who's, been battle tested, as I like to say, right? Somebody who's out there doing these activities, not just selling these solutions. Um, which, we're a little bit at time here, but I just wanted to ask the question I always ask everybody before we depart. Thank you for coming on board today, Katie Van Nes, and sharing your experience and how you're helping agents grow their business. But for the listeners out there, what's one thing that you would tell an agent right now who might be on the fence of either A, adopting a technology, B, using Lofty right now, but a little discouraged, or C, just looking to kind of have that breakthrough moment in their business? I know those are like three different things, but what's one thing you'll tell an agent today to help them grow their business tomorrow?
Well, a quick and simple plug would be come to my master classes on Wednesdays. They are in an Ask Me Anything forum, and we can just meet you where you're at and go from there. You might find great value. The community is really helpful and wonderful too. But I think all three stages sounded different, but they were all kind of at like that breaking point that you said, whether you're going to choose to break into a new CRM or take it to the next level, you have to be using it. So really time block that and have some database hygiene. And so if you're afraid because it just is overwhelming, there's a lot of calls, then set some bite-sized goals, whether it's an hour a day in your CRM, keeps the doctor away. Make those calls. You really want to set those goals. How many people are you going to add every week? How many people are you going to reach out to that you already have added? So turning your people who haven't met you into people who have met you. And the more people that you contact and talk to about real estate, the more connections they're going to give you and make. They may not be giving you deals for themselves. They may be introducing you to other people, and just continue to grow it. And so have an expectation of what you want to see happen with that database. And so hold it accountable when you go and opt in for a new software. So you need to block that time to use it and learn it, and then build it, grow, add some people to the database, and just really use it. It takes some
Yeah.
time, but yeah, just like
But
anything.
yeah, with perseverance, you can get through it.
We are here to help you. I'm always dropping my Zoom link for people.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time today, Katie. Thank you for coming on and sharing your wealth of knowledge with all the listeners and everybody. Again, if you didn't see that, I'll put the QR code on here. Most referred expert community group. Go ahead and scan the QR code down below and get in contact with Katie so that you can start growing your business today the right way with the right setup, AKA Lofty. And we're happy to have you on board. Again, thanks, Katie, for sharing your
You're
wealth of
welcome.
knowledge. And thank you for listening in. We'll be back next week with another episode. Till then, my name's Ernest, your Lofty Success Product Manager. And I was joined here by Katie, real estate agent extraordinaire, mentor, coach, and productivity mentor. Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome. My
Have a good
pleasure.
one.
You too.